So, been working on this idea of painting glass for the last couple of weeks, and I'll keep it going for this week and next, and then go on to the next project. So, there was some of the watercolour demos that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks. Really just individual studies, really, rather than the whole thing. And I thought, if anybody wants to work with other mediums, I'll do a little bit with still life, with acrylics. So that's what I've started this morning. So the idea here is the bottle, and it's probably going, it needs a little bit more background and that sort of thing.
So you're using acrylics?
This is acrylics, yeah, I thought I'd try with acrylics. So yeah, as I say, this week and next week, and then after that, if anybody would like to do lino printing, we're doing lino printing for October, starting in October, for anybody interested. And if you're not, we could do like an alternative project, which is autumn would be alternative project. Or the one for November is it's like vegetables and fruit, but sections through fruit and vegetables. So if you wanted to alternate between those two, that would be absolutely fine, and we'd mix them all together. So I'll try and cover a little bit of each of those subjects, but I will be focusing particularly on the lino printing for those that are interested, at least first couple of weeks in October. Okay. This was demo started this morning. This little still life here is actually a little bit difficult to see. So I'm thinking, and I'm using acrylics, which are obviously very, very forgiving, much more forgiving than the watercolours, but quite fast drying. Just trying to get some, thinking perhaps a little bit more highlights in places. Just brighten that a little bit, a bit brighter there. What I did was I started with the blue, and then I've then added shadows, these sort of greyish shadows, and then some highlights. So that's a bit brighter here. I think once the highlights go in, it then starts to read a bit more as glass. So really, painting glass, what you're really looking at is quite abstract shapes of light and dark. And you've got these mid-tones, some darker shadows. It's a mixture of seeing through the glass to the colours beyond, but it's also reflecting quite a lot of maybe the cream walls, reflecting these strip lights, reflecting some of the other colours around, as well as seeing through to the blue backcloth, as it were. So, I think here just a little bit lighter, but not as light as up there. So I'll just mix a slightly paler tone. Yeah, no, it's not that light there, keep it out. Just here it gets a bit lighter though, seeing some of the reflection of the can beyond. So we've got a little bit lighter there, and then the can, there's a little bit of a darker shadow. Let's just scratch that out. And then the can itself is much that colour and tone behind. And slightly paler, just a tiny bit paler blue on the front. Maybe a little touch of red in with it. It's reflecting a tiny bit of slightly pinky colours from somewhere, just in the front surface there. And then just one darker, just a darker touch down there. I think hopefully it's starting to look a bit like glass, but I think it actually needs a bit stronger background in than that, make a little bit more sense of it. So that's, yeah, quite a nice exercise if you fancy doing that, but I would suggest if you are having a go at the glass, some sort of background works quite nicely. I've got a couple of different cloths down here, or just use the yellow of the tables and whatever's around. That's that. Sue's brought some magazines in. So if anybody wanted some magazines, we've got some art magazines here. So we've got bottom here. Anybody would like to have a look like that? So, anybody got any questions on that, or on anything mentioned, future projects, or? No, okay, that's great. I mentioned the sea white stuff I'm going to order. I'll probably order that tonight. So if anybody did want anything else from the sea white catalogue, I'll get that. I need to get that ordered because I wanted to get some lino in for anybody doing the lino project. So I'll give it a week or so for that to come in. Hopefully that'll come in on time. I'll do that tonight. Okay, right, okay.